I don't know what to say. Just the entire day was horrible. I think that was the worst run we've ever had. And low stakes, I mean, I don't think I can do it anymore. I really don't. I honestly don't think I can do this. Like, this low stake bullshit. Like, this. Honestly, like,
All right, guys, we got a great full night's rest, got a solid workout in this morning, called the Uber, and now we're off to the other end of the strip. I think it was my first time being in a Tesla because I didn't even know how to open the car door. I was like, there's no handle. How do we get in? But we figured it out eventually. Resorts World is our location of choice today. It's been a while since we've been here, so a change of scenery. We got to the poker room around noon and had to wait about 15-20 minutes to get our name called. The only game that was running besides this crazy mixed game, I guess where they pick cards to determine the game every so often, was the 1-3. We sit down with the max $400 and take our seat. The first hand we get involved in is the first hand that we're dealt in. We're in the big blind. The under the gun 1 limps for $3, folds to the small blind, who puts in $2 more for a call. We look down at king 6 offsuit. We just check our option and go 3 ways to a flop. And it comes ace king 8 rainbow. The action checks around. The turn is a 10 of hearts, a full rainbow now. The action checks around again. The river gives us 2 pair. With the passive action, the small blind wants to take a stab. He bets out $10. It's not really rocket science. We should have the best hand majority of the time. So we put more money in the middle and make it $30 to go. The under gun 1 folds, and so does the small blind. I probably would have done the same thing if I were him stabbing with anything. At least we start off the session, first hand, and first win. The small blind bought the button this hand, so the big blind first to act limps for $3. The under the gun raises to 15. The guy to our right in middle position calls 15. We're next to act and look down at ace 5 of hearts. Solid hand to squeeze, reduces the combos of strong holdings they may have, and don't really want to go super multi-way with it. So we 3-bet to $55. It folds to the small blind, who calls $55. The big blind folds, and the original raiser comes along. So 3 ways to a flop in position, and it comes all black, king, king 7 with 2 spades. Both players check to us, and we have no back doors, no hope it feels like. So we check back. The turn is a 2 of diamonds. They both check again, and I'm like, all right, no one wants it. I'll take a stab. And we do, we throw out $25. The small blind calls. Okay, that's it for us. And even more so because the under the gun raises to 75. We obviously get out of the way, and the small blind calls $50 more. The river is an 8 of clubs. I think the small blind check. The under the gun bets out 100 or maybe even more. The small blind folds, and the under the gun shows a king. Wow, checking twice with trips with potential spade draws. Interesting. I guess he got $25 extra out of us, so it worked. An orbit later, we're in the big blind with king jack offsuit. There's under the gun straddle to $6. The under the gun 1 limps for 6, folds to the small blind, who also limps. And this was probably a misclick because we only raise it to $20. If we're gonna raise, we should have made it at least $25, if not $30. The straddler folds, and both limpers make the call, so 3 ways to a flop, which comes great for us. It's king jack 7 with 2 spades. The small blind checks in flow, and we make a c-bet to $25. The under the gun 1 folds. The small blind makes a call. Just no spade, please. That's all I'm asking. The turn is a black card, but it's a club. It's a 5 of clubs. The small blind has around $125 behind, so when he checks to us, we have to make it enough where he's not drawing for too cheap, but not too much where he has to make a decision now if he wants to get it in. So we double the flop bet and throw out $50. He thinks for a little while, looks back at his cards, and then says he has kicker issues. Dang it, if we only knew that, we would have checked and hope he catches his kicker for a smaller 2 pair. Oh well, that's why this game is so difficult. You can't see what the other players have. During the next half hour, we see a few bad beats, none of them that we're involved in, but this one, aces versus queens, it was a button straddle, the cutoff with aces limp, $6. It passes the button, the blinds call, the button now squeezes to 35. The blinds now fold, the cutoff jams for like $440, the button tank calls. It was gonna go in eventually anyway, because set over set on the flop, just gross. And this one, flush over flush, flop second nut flush, and flop third nut flush, just sick. Maybe a little foreshadowing for what's to come, I guess. A hand that we're actually involved in though, we look down at ace queen offsuit on the button. We put on that $6 button straddle. The end of the gun 1 raises to 25. The cutoff makes the call. Action now on us since there was a raise. And with the solid hand, gonna put in that 3-bet. And we bump things up to $80. The small blind asks the dealer how much it is. That's not really a good sign, but he does end up folding. The big blind folds, the initial raiser folds, and the cutoff folds. So good result, taking down a pot uncontested. Another cooler happens a hand later, another one where we weren't involved in, but it's with the same guy, the aces versus queens. He has king 10, the flop is king high, the turn is blank, all the money goes in, and his opponent has pocket 10s. And he spikes a 10 on the river, the case 10. Wow, felt kind of bad for this guy, not gonna lie. Now I guess it's our turn, huh? We have king queen offsuit in the hijack. The other gun limps for $3, folds to us, and we raise things up to 15. The button calls, the small blind calls, and the limper calls. So not really ideal, but 4 ways to a flop. And it comes king queen jack with 2 clubs. Flopping top 2 pair on a super wet and connected board. The small blind checks and flow, but the end of the gun doesn't. He leads for $35. He was an older gentleman, so take that what you will. Not sure what to really do here. We have a great hand, but board is really wet and connected, like I said. But he's repping a set of jacks, ace 10, 10-9 for a straight. I know OMC types like to lead with top pair, but maybe he has king jack for smaller 2 pair. I mean, I guess we can deny from flush draws, but we're in position against this player. Let's just keep the pot small and manageable to see what develops. The other 2 players fold their cards, so onto a turn, heads up, and it comes the jack of hearts. He slows down this time and checks, and not in love with that card at all, because king jack, definitely a possibility, and still losing versus straights. Flush draws are still a possibility as well. I don't know, we decide to check back. Cause the last thing we want is for an OMC to check jam all in with a full house. So off to a river, and it's a brick, it's a 7 hearts. He's first to act, and he takes it upon himself again and bets, this time for $155. So let's play this hand back. He donk leads on the flop against me, the initial aggressor, and 2 other opponents. Checks the turn, pot size bets the river. I don't know what this action or what this play means. Either he missed a flush draw or king jack, like I said. That's basically what I'm narrowing his hands to.
Interesting. Let's see. Sure, you can have it.
Golf, what's at the back?
Full house.
That's full. Only on the river.
Nice river.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah. 155.
It was a brick, but it's a good brick.
Wow, pocket 7s. So we let him get there by checking back, but 5%, 2 outer he catches, and I guess we're the sucker for calling it off. We add on $225 of greens after that hand, and a few hands later, we're in the small blind. There's 4 limpers, and we look down at ace 6 of diamonds. Let's punish these limpers. So we raise it up to $30 and get absolutely no respect. The big blind calls, and only one of the limpers fold. So 5 ways to a flop, and it comes 9-7-4 rainbow. What kind of board is that? I mean, what's there really to do here? We have no potential nothing. We check, it checks to the cutoff, and he jams for over $350. I guess he wanted it more than everybody because everyone folds. It's yours, sir. You deserve it. We get up after that and take a quick walk just to stretch the legs and to prevent us from getting too tilted. After we come back, the board death continues. Here's a few hands showing just that. We have pocket eights in the big blind. We call a $10 or $15 open. There's no set for us. The next hand we're in the small blind. The button straddle is on. We raised it up with pocket sevens. Get a few callers. The board is 9 high. We check. The next act bets out 50. The other players call, and we're forced to fold. The next hand we're on the button straddle, and that's what we look down at. Garbage. And that was just 3 hands back to back to summarize what I was talking about. Card dead and board death are a real thing, but honestly I'd rather be card dead than board death, because at least when you're card dead you don't have to risk any more money. You can just fold pre-flop. But when you're board dead or have board death, that's when it can get expensive, where you have these mediocre hands or small pocket pairs where you see flops and then you just whiff them. $10, $15, $20, $30. I mean, that's when it can just dwindle your stack. So after a lot of dwindling, we add on additional $140 topping off. So now in the game for $765 total. I mean, we try raising with good hands and then we get sucked out on, or like this one, we raise with a bad hand in position and get a good board for our range on the flop, ace high, but someone leads for pot size and we have no back doors, just jack high, so we're forced to fold. Seems like a reoccurring thing lately at these lower stake games. This hand is kind of the same thing, back to good hands now. We're in the small blind. There's a bunch straddle of $6. It folds to the hijack, who limps for 6. The cutoff folds. It skips the button onto us, and we look down at queen jack of spades. We raise it up to $35. Only the hijack limper makes the call, and the flop comes 8-7-4, all diamonds. Again, just dog shit for boards. We're gonna c-bet this time and just hope for the best. We c-bet to $20 and the OMC right away raises 3x to 60 and snap fold from us. I know Texas Hold'em, there's a lot of luck in this game, but all I'm asking for is just a little bit of luck. Just a little bit, that's all. Players, jacks, table, whatever, adding another $200 to our stack, because we're going to catch a big hand. I just know it. We're going to get there, and we're going to get paid. Speaking of, finally look at a decent hand in the small blind, ace jack offsuit. There's under the gun open to $6, min click. I think everyone but one player calls, and we aren't having it. We're going to squeeze. We make it $45 to go.
That's a lot of good money. Jesus.
Exactly, a lot of dead money out there, and lately if we see flops we lose, so let's just not. And sure enough, $45 was a good enough amount to fold out everybody. And holy crap, 2 hands later, basically back-to-back hands, we take it down. I'm like shocked. We don't even catch anything though, we just bet all 3 streets and put more money in the middle than everybody else. Still, it's easier to catch instead of triple barrel bluffing, hoping they all fold. But alright, a few chips going our way, always a good feeling. Still have a lot of making up to do though. A whole hour goes by. I think we take down a few more hands, just raising pre-flop. Nothing really too interesting happens, just like the last one. But this next hand, I'm sure you'll like. We're in the small blind again with 4 deuce of clubs. The button straddle is on. The under the gun raises to 15. It folds to the button. Who calls? And we also make the call just cause. Couldn't really tell you why. And the big blind gets out of the way. So we're 3 ways to a flop. And it comes 7-6-2 rainbow. Okay, decent board for our exact hand. We have a pair and some backdoors. It shouldn't really hit the opener's range. And the button shouldn't really be playing low cards like that either. We check and flow like normal, probably looking to check raise if the under the gun c-bets, but he doesn't, he checks, and the button takes initiative and bets out $20. Still thinking about check raising. The guy I wanted to bet didn't, so that kind of changes things a little bit. I still like our hand enough for $20, so we make the call, and the under the gun calls as well, so still 3 ways to a turn. And it comes one of the best cards in the deck for us. It's a 3 of clubs. We check and flow, and definitely gonna check raise if anyone puts any more money in the middle, because we have the world, have a pair plus straight flush draw. The under the gun checks to the aggressor, and he does not disappoint us. He bets again, this time for $55. Now the question is, how much are we gonna make it? we decide on almost 3x his bet and make it $140 to go. We have a little over 200 behind in our stack, and he does cover us. So I wanted to have some fold equity if he does call and we happen to just brick the river. The under the gun gets out of the way and the button tanks for around 15-20 seconds and eventually does make the call. So don't really think there's much decision to be had no matter what the river is, but really hoping to catch. And we kind of do, we kind of catch, not the card we wanted, but it's a 4 of diamonds giving us a sneaky 2 pair. Was really looking for a club or our straight flush, but can't be too greedy. Maybe that was just the card we needed. Like I said, the flush missed, and now we have a better hand than what we did on the turn. I guess any 5 now makes a straight, but only hand maybe 7-5, but I doubt it. We are first to act, and I'll let you see how it all played out.
Come on. I'll call.
I'm 2 pair.
I do too.
Your 2 pairs better. Oh my god, what a river, huh? I had everything.
I know you did.
I fucking had everything.
I love this hand. Sorry.
No.
Love this hand.
I had everything.
It was really a jam for value. What we thought was a miracle card gave him 2 pair as well. He told me he was not calling my jam if he didn't improve, so I needed to catch or really just him not to catch, and we win. Like, really? So no 7, no 5, or no 4, and we win. 2 7s, 2 4s, and 4 5s, 8 outs. Well, really 7, because the 5 of clubs gives us a flush, so 7 outs. Was not happy with that result. Love our play, love the check raise on the turn. Don't mind the call by him, that's what we want. And any card other than those outs, we win. And our play looks like a pro level one, but instead got sucked out on and kind of looked dumb. I mean, even though we were technically behind, it still felt like we got sucked out on. Alright, this is our last add-on because I'm near my breaking point. We add on $200 more, and you can kind of tell because this hand we open on the button with King Deuce offsuit. There's a few limpers, the under the gun, low jack, and the cutoff, and we make it $25 to go. The big blind makes the call, the under the gun makes the call. Alright, please stop this domino effect. Alright, thank you. The low jack folds and the cutoff folds. So 3 ways instead of 5 is a plus. But what makes it even better is the flop comes 2 kings. They both checked us in flow, and we have a good hand. It's not rocket science. Probably would c-bet this board even if we didn't have a king. So we're going to do it now that we have one, and we make it $20. Hoping to get one caller at least, one non-believer, but nope, they both fold right away. So I guess that's how you win in this game. You raise trash hands and get lucky. Just 2 hands later, there's a button straddle to $6. The guy to our right raises to 15. We're next to act and look down at ace 4 of hearts. Normally we would raise this hand, but we just make the call, switching it up. Sometimes we can 3-bet, sometimes smooth call. Both are okay. The cutoff folds, the button comes along for $9 more. The small blind now announces all in for $42. The original raiser, the low jack, expecting him to isolate. He doesn't and just makes a call. And we're getting a great price, so we call as well. Because I highly doubt the button would back raise. I mean, if he had a good enough hand, he would have done that already. But he actually does let it go, even though he was getting a better price than we were. So the small blind is all in, and there's side action now between us and the low jack. And me and this guy have been chatting all day. Really cool guy named Scott. And being friendly, he kind of says check. And I already get that vibe that we were going to check it down. And doesn't really matter because we flop a straight flush. No joke, a wheel straight flush. We flopped it. That was awesome. Never gone one before, but really just a tease. Big hand for such a small amount of money.
Did you hit it just straight flush?
I flopped a straight
Awesome,
flush.
bro. That is fucking awesome.
You said you check it down, so.
Yeah, I was checking it down regardless. That's fucking badass.
At the time, it really didn't feel that badass, but maybe that was a sign things are looking up. And possibly so, because not long after that hand, we looked down at the best starting hand in poker, pocket aces. We're in the cutoff. There's a few limpers. We raise things up to 15, only get one caller, and we flop top set on like a ace, king, 3, 2 diamond board. Opponent checks. We bet small, third pot, $10, and he folds. Just more teasing, catching such great hands, but getting no action. Super, super frustrating. Less than an orbit later, we're in the small blind. The button straddle is on. It folds around to the cutoff. The OMC, who led jammed on the flop for like 300 or 400, he raises this time to $30. The button makes a call. We're next to act and look down at the ladies. All right, let's get some of this money back. We 3-bet and bump things up to $115. It folds around to the OMC, the original raiser. He thinks for a bit and then goes all in for over $250. The button quickly folds, and action now back on us.
Can you just count? Just official.
230
What's that again?
262.
I don't think I can fold. I mean, I have the third best starting hand, so I got to call.
Oh, you call?
One against aces.
Yeah, probably, but.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, hey, there's a chance.
I lied.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Ah, damn.
That's the chance right there.
Man,
That's the chance right there, huh?
Now, like, you sound pretty angry.
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm fine. I love it.
That hand would have helped us out so much, putting us back on the right track, but catching a 2-outer on the turn to take it down. Sometimes poker is just like that. You catch great hands and get no action, or are board dead, or you get it in good and you just lose. But what can you do? Now off to the Raw Emotions outro right after the session.
I am so lucky there's not people around right now. Like, we're just kind of in the conference area and there's nobody around. Because I am beyond pissed right now. I mean, yeah, I'm smiling because, I mean, I'm just happy person, positive person. Like I always tell you guys, we woke up, it's always a blessed day kind of thing. But when that kind of stuff happens, I don't know what to say. Just the entire day was horrible. I think that was the worst run we've ever had. And low stakes, I mean, I don't think I can do it anymore. I really don't. I honestly don't think I can do this. Like, fuck this low stake bullshit. Like, fuck this. Honestly, like I mean, yay, we caught, or what is it? We flopped a wheel straight flush. That was kind of cool. I don't think I've ever gotten a wheel straight flush before, let alone flop it. Like, but the hand, I mean, it wasn't even that big. What did he go all in for? Like $42, and got one caller. And me and the guy were like, he even said, he's like, I'm gonna check it down. I mean, we were cool. We were chit chatting, whatever. And when I see that, I'm like, I check. And then the turn came. I like already flipped over my cards, whatever. But I mean, I thought that was like a boost. I'm like, all right, like the day's not lost. Like, let's just have a big comeback. But no, we not too long after, queens 3-bet and get jammed on against the OMC. And I mean, I thought about folding, but I mean, I called, and then the other people at the table, they're like, well, you're up against aces. And I was like, well, probably, but I mean, I'm already have 125 in there. So, and then he flipped over jacks. I was like, all right, there's a chance. The poker gods literally fucked me. Like, it was, I mean, I'm trying not to curse this much, to be honest, because don't want to get demonetized or probably just blur it out. But again, this is just raw emotions. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, guys. Like, we lost. The numbers will be here. We lost a lot. I mean, it's not a lot. I've lost more, like a lot more, but at low stakes, 1-3. Like, $400 max buy-in, and you lose that much in that amount of time. Like, am I that bad of a player? I honestly don't think I am. Like, I think I'm a good player. Like, again, I'm not like the best, or I'm not saying I'm can compete with these guys that play super high stakes, but like, I'm not an average Joe. Like, in athletic or fitness terms, like, I'm above that. Like, yeah, and that's just probably why I'm never gonna play low stakes again. Like, I really don't. It's like an in-between thing. Like, you need the bankroll to play higher stakes, but and to say you don't, and you play lower stakes, and you just can't win. Like, good players can't win. Like, what is it? And during the session, I was like, I'm not angry. I'm really not. I'm not angry. Like, that's so funny. Like, I love that skit. But yeah, this is a tough one, tough pill to swallow. Don't even know what we're gonna do tomorrow. Don't even know what I want to do tomorrow. I mean, we leave, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock at night, so we have all day tomorrow to play, and I don't know what we're gonna do. Put it all on one hand of blackjack, just whatever else I brought with me. I don't even know how much I brought with me, but just, I'm like, let's just get it back. I don't know. I'm not that much of a degen gambler. Like, I don't do stuff like that. I'm smart with my money. But that's all I got, guys. Like I said, try to be positive in any situation. I mean, this is just raw emotions. Afterwards, probably tomorrow, sleep it off, and I'll be grateful. I mean, got to be grateful that you wake up, because again, a lot of people didn't. So, but that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna go back to the room and call it. But yeah, that's it. I met some cool people at the table. Got some of the guys' numbers. They're like, yeah, text me when it's out, or let me know when it's out. So that was cool. What was the guy named next to the guy to my right, Scott? I think that was like his middle name or nickname or something like that. Where we got 2 pair versus 2 pair. I'm like, that hand too was super frustrating. I mean, what did I raise? I made a decent raise. I think he bet, and then yeah, I raised because I had the world. I had a pair, straight draw, flush draw. Like, I was thinking, I was like, please jam, because like, we're gonna get it in. And when we hit 2 pair on the river, I was like, all right, we're golden. But no, he had 2 pair himself. I mean, he called with, what was it, top pair, second pair on the turn. Like, that's just horrible. I mean, I'm not saying he's a horrible player. I'm just saying, like, our raise should have gone through on that. And it just so happened, I even told him, or he told me, he's like, yeah, if I didn't catch anything, I'm folding. So we needed either to catch ourselves any of our outs, or just a brick, and I'm jamming and he's folding. So he literally had those few outs. I mean, if he catches the case, whatever, 4 was it, I mean, we lose. I jam and he calls with trips, and he obviously beats us, or he might even play the board, whatever. But that 1 out, or the other 2 4s in the deck, so 3 outs. Like, again, like, poker is a numbers game, and like, what, like, I know people have bad beats, but it felt like an all-day thing, and it was horrible. But again, I don't want to ramble too much. I mean, I know I'm already rambling. I'm sorry, guys, but I just had to get it off my chest. So hope you guys stuck to the end. Hope you guys feel me on the bad beat, the pissed offness. I mean, I'm sure you guys, if you played long enough, you will have sessions like these. So it's not just me. But yeah, have a good day. Have a good night. You woke up, you saw this. It's a blessed day. Remember that, guys. I'm Matty Ice. This is Gains Poker. Peace out.